Do your own research and due diligence before investing in any company. The information I provide is in no way or manner a professional suggestion to purchase shares in any publicly traded company. I am not licensed to provide financial advice, and this should be considered entertainment. These stock profiles are intended to be trading ideas, a starting point for research. Any individual who chooses to invest in any securities should do so with caution. Investing in securities is speculative and carries a high degree of risk. You may lose some or all the money that is invested. Always research your own investments and consider consulting with a registered investment advisor or a licensed stockbroker before investing.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Sal back in the building with episode 136. The market starts to cool. And ladies and gentlemen, today is the first day in a very long time where the overall market, especially the SPX, let me go to the SPX, that you had 2 days in a row in the SPX being red. You have to go back to January to see that, toward the end of January. All right. And it had been since the end of December to where you saw consecutive 3 days in the market. So a little bit of cooling here. All right. The title may be a little bit of an exaggeration, but at the end of the day, the market has been down 2 days straight and has been, affected a couple stocks. All right. Let me go ahead and get the show started. Let me go ahead. There we go. Go ahead and get the show started, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you for joining me here on the show. Life for TV saying you can't hear me, man. It must be that Acer computer you got, man. Gotta switch off that Acer. Eric Stocks, what's up, man? Yearn, Bam Lit, Bruce Cole, Craig G, Londell Carter, Bo Vosh. Okay, we got a lot of people already in the house tonight. Bad Scientist already in the building. All right, shout out to, hey, what's going on, Coralie? The beautiful Coralie in the building. Money Stay Woke. Q DeMayo's in the house. Johnny Get Down, JJ. All right, that's what's up, man. J Bino, what's up, guys? And look, man, Nasdaq is on fire right now, man. I know many of you guys don't say it, but you got a problem with the OTCs. You don't really like them, and that's fine. And I completely understand that. So right now, I'm guessing you must be the type that's making a killing right now in the Nasdaq, because that is hot right now, man. The Nasdaq stocks are on fire. They're absolutely on fire right now. I want to give one of DJ Clues' bombs. Man. I mean, they are just, how hot can we get on some of these? AUPH. I know Tristan's not in the building already. He tends to come in the chat room a lot later. AUPH. $1.74, and that wasn't even the high. I think the stock touched as high as $7.50. $7.50 in AUPH. Okay, and this was a stock that, look, last week, $3. $3.30, $3.50s or so. So yeah, man, the Nasdaq is on fire. So for those of you guys, as I said earlier, who got a problem with the OTCs, I'm guessing you're making a killing. You're making a killing. Astrid, you're saying OTC isn't Nasdaq? No, sir. You remember, over-the-counter market and Nasdaq are completely different things. Different quality of stocks, whole different thing, Astrid. All right. Yeah, somebody bringing up ICLD. Yeah, ICLD has been doing its thing. Slight gain today. But again, I'm going back to the Nasdaqs because that's where the money is right now, man. That's where the money is right now. PRKR and that incredible run today, which ironically happened so late. I was like, where the hell is this coming from? PRKR, Parker Vision. Did you guys see that? That came so late. I mean, at that point in the day, I just started doing what Bat Scientist was talking about, which was looking at situations for the very next day, right? Looking for situations going into the very next day. So by then, by 3:30, 3:40, the candlestick for that particular day has already been, created. So I'm looking for the doji, which I already started to find the day before, and then today I'm looking for the for the confirmation. So that Marubatsu sign that is confirmation of bullish, momentum in the stock. And PRKR towards the close starts to take off. I don't know what's going on in the stock. Somebody's saying it took off after hours. I'm seeing right now it took off just before the close. Somebody got the word. All right. So many stocks to talk about. Let's keep it moving, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep it moving. Again, PRKR after hours news, as Bovash had explained. After hours news on PRKR. We'll take a look at that later. Many other stocks. We had a guy call up on ESES. Whoever you are, man, call back, because you hit it right on the head on ESES. You hit it right on the head with ESES. Incredible move at the open. Way out of the bands, came back down. And again, if you love that strategy where I talk about the first 30 minutes and ignoring it, you were spot on in ESES. You were spot on. 251, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, Sarah, how you doing, man?
Doing good. Who am I speaking with?
This is Anthony from Mobile, man.
What's going on, Anthony? What you got for us, man?
Man, I had a question about one stock. That's GEGI.
GEGI up 35% today. I have seen this stock brought up here on the show. I don't know too much about it though. What's going on with it right now?
Yeah, it was it started looked like it's starting to move here lately, and I got back in on February 14th.
Mm-hmm.
And I got in at 0016. So I got like 137% like gain on it.
Okay.
And I'm looking at the chart now, and I'm looking at this green hammer. So I'm wondering if it's gonna run, continue to run later on this week.
Well, you're up well over 100%, man. I'll probably take my profits and run here. Being that let me see here, 3-1. You actually were up a little higher than you are now. But I would probably take my profits and run here. What makes you think it'll kind of continue to run? Let me see here. Especially if you got in at 0015.
Yeah, 0016.
I'll go 0016. Yeah, I'll probably take my gains and head for the door, man. You're up really nicely. It's an OTC pink no information play. The company hasn't hasn't put out any news. What I'm seeing here since 2015. So we don't even know if the individuals that are behind the company are actually responsible for what is going on right now in the stock, or maybe you just happen to find yourself in a pump, man, that's going your way. So I would take my profits and run here, man. You're up 35% on today's action. Tomorrow I'm sure you'll have some people, who are looking to buy in the open, sell to them and take your gains and keep it moving.
Okay, cool.
All
Okay,
right.
man. I appreciate you, sir. Like I said, man, keep doing what you're doing, man. Like I said, I enjoy the show, and I see you got a lot of new people calling.
Yeah.
Women, everything. So
definitely, man. Thank you so much for the call, man.
Okay.
All right. So shout out to him from Mobile. Call back anytime. Yeah, BIOC was also another great earnings call. BIOC again. That's. Let me see here on the 5-minute chart here on BIOC. That one also started off really nicely. until for whatever reason, I guess investors just wanted out. And, you had huge selling into the late afternoon in BIOC, unfortunately ending down. But for the most part, for most of the day, you were actually green until investors just kind of decided to get rid of it. But Bo Vosh, you're saying you like BIOC for tomorrow. It is, pretty low on the RSI, though. Pretty low on the RSI, so I can definitely see that where you guys are getting with that as a possible bounce on that RSI. But yeah, again, shout out to the guy who brought it up on ESES again, man. I can't thank you enough. I took advantage of that one. That was a great list we put out. And I hope you guys are writing some of the stocks some of these guys call up and talk about, because you'd be surprised. Some of your peers in the chat room, they just do a great job of finding those plays. They do a great job of finding those plays. What's going on, Bad Scientists? I also saw some of you guys bringing up Snap. As I mentioned it on Friday and I mentioned it yesterday. Snap is a Snap right now has a valuation bigger than SunTrust Bank. Do you understand that? SunTrust Bank is a full-service bank here in the South. The company has over 1,300 full-service locations. I mean, you can walk into a SunTrust, you can get your 529 plans for your kids, in retirement planning, obviously banking services, and Snap, a company that is ran by a 26-year-old billionaire that again has no idea really how many users they have, who their users are, their ages, nothing, has a valuation bigger than SunTrust Bank. Crazy. Insane. And these bankers are selling to our families. They're selling to our families, our teachers, our friends who believe that this technology, again, is some kind of life-changing application. It's not. And the only people that lose are retail. Those are the only people that lose. Retail, retail, retail. Trust me, big money never loses when it comes to the stock market. Never. You guys already learned a lesson when Drives was running. When Drives was running and the big money had got caught off guard and the stock opened up against them, what happened? They halted the stock. They called in the boys and they halted the stock. So they never lose. They never lose. CDIF, I'm seeing somebody bringing up CDIF in the chat room. CDIF up 18%. Sporadic buying through the day obviously is not a very consistent looking play here. Very sporadic buying in the stock in CDIF. So be careful on that one. Volume looks like might be an issue here. So be careful on that one. Ryan Rail. ADVT. OTC play, 3 cents a share. Nice run for the stock, 27 cents. Looks like it's been a good 2-day run so far in ADVT. Actually, you probably could go back to last Friday, and it's been a solid 3 days for ADVT, where you had start at almost like 017, 015. Now you're at 03. Nice play for that stock. Yeah. But as I said, man, it's all been, Nasdaq, and you just got to be happy when you have plays like this. Bo Vosh just brought this up here, HEAR. When you see stocks like this running, and that's why it's so important to have a good scanner. You've always got to have a really good scanner. Shout out to the Discord room, because I forgot his name, but he puts up the E-Trade scanner. What's his name, guys? Is it Money Green? I think Money Green. Hopefully I got the right guy, but he brings up his scanner completely free. Completely free. You can pull up his scanner every morning. He starts it out. And if you're in the chat room, put up that channel. And he puts up an E-Trade scanner that's well set to catch these runs. You know, it's so important to have your scans well. That's why I, of course, work with, Equity Feed. Equity Feed, I think personally they're the best. Again, equityfeed.com, you get 2 weeks free. Mando, yeah, there you go, Craig G. That's Mando. You're right. It's Mando. Mando puts out the free scan using his E-Trade platform, E-Trade Pro platform. HEAR, again, this was an opportunity that everybody could have taken advantage of. As you can see, relatively low volume in the stock until, news came out and the stock started running. News came out and the stock started running. In fact, let me take a quick look at that news. Let me see here. HEAR. What was that? Because something came out, as you can see by the chart there. Actually, no, I'm not seeing a chart move. I'm not seeing any news on HEAR. And I think somebody in the chat room can confirm that for me, but I'm not seeing any news. February 6th, yeah, February 24th. I see this announcement. Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing any confirmation of news in HEAR. So if that's the case, then we're looking at possibly a good short tomorrow. If that's the case, if this stock is up 33% on no news, let me write this ticker down. We might be looking at a possible short tomorrow. All right, so earnings tomorrow after hours. Okay, thank you, Bovash. Earnings tomorrow after hours on that. So again, somebody's excited about something. Somebody's exciting about something. All right. And what else was up today? Freddie Foster, he's talking about MEMEX, 2,700% gain in the stock. I believe this is an OTC play. Yes, I am right. This is a OTC Pink Limited Information play. All right, so you didn't. Okay, so crazy volume in the stock for what it was usually getting. As you can see here, there's practically nothing out. And we always talk about, and I kind of brought this up last week, Friday. The new scam right now in OTC markets is for guys to pump these shells, right? So they'll go and find some of these shell companies or these companies that haven't done anything in a while, load up, and then get with some promoters and then start pushing the stock like that, creating fake landing pages, creating fake Twitter, IG pages, anything to make the company appear to be still in business. You got to be careful with that. I'm not saying this is one of them because I can see MEMEX. They are updating financial as of recently. All right. EMMD. All right, nothing going on there. Exciting. Mylan Davis, what do you see out of this, man? I'm not seeing anything here on. All right, so yeah, that's the one. Let me bring this up here. EMMD, he's bringing up. Okay, OTC play. All right, so you had a sell-off today, and then you're looking to play the rebound. Okay. You're looking to play the rebound in the stock. Ah, shit, hold on. 1 second, guys. So he's looking to play the rebound on EMMD. I don't know, man. I'm looking at it. Okay, let me see. Well, actually, the trajectory was pretty good on the stock. I wish I could pull it up in the free stock charts, but yeah, somebody can put that up in there for you. Somebody can put that up with you. How you doing, Miss Davy? All right, we got Alan bringing up IRG. IRG, Ignite Restaurants, 43 cents. I believe this is a Nasdaq play. Yeah, I wasn't sure about that other one, man. That EMM, you were talking about. You might want to let me know about that one. I'm looking at IRG now. Solid play that started to lose momentum towards, the afternoon after an incredible run up. So, look to see what happens in the stock tomorrow. I mean, you really can't tell. You had almost, I want to say, as many as 10 stocks that just kind of appeared today and ran. And whether or not they'll maintain, as you can see here, here's what happened today in IRG. Incredible run in the stock. So you got a lot of people that are probably trapped up here at 65 that are now sellers or looking to sell tomorrow. So there'll be your wall tomorrow. If you try or even get any close, they'll be looking to take that loss close to where they bought at, especially if they're impatient. All right, what's going on, LK Ra? Been a minute, man. Has been a minute. So far, again, if you guys took a look at those runners that we got to pay attention into next week, or into tomorrow, HEAR, definitely one of them. ESES, got to pay attention to that going into tomorrow, and of course this IRG play as well. IRG, I don't know if this is going to be a multiple day situation, but as I've gone to the daily chart here, you do see the stock has a history of multiple day running when it does move higher aggressively. All right, let me see here. And the stock was very bearish for some time. All right, and today was the confirmation of that bullish action that the stock saw yesterday. But again, this is not a candlestick we look to here. If it was a doji, we probably would have caught it yesterday, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. That was not the case. All right. AUPH, yeah, AUPH is the one as well too. AUPH is one you need to write down as well. AUPH, and again, Tristan, I don't think Tristan is in the building yet, but that guy comes in and just talks about AUPH every single day. He obviously, believes in this company wholeheartedly, in AUPH, a stock that, a week and a half ago we were talking about at $3, and sure enough, it's at $7.10. So incredible amount of gain in AUPH in this short period of time. Short period of time, incredible gains. There was a stock that did the $160 million deal yesterday. I'm looking for that ticker. The $160 million deal yesterday. And I'm not sure if the company sold off yet or not. When was that? What was that? CNCE. CNCE is another one. There it goes. CNCE pulled back pretty strongly today after reaching a high of almost $18. You had a strong pullback in the stock, but CNCE, we'll see what happens with that. We'll see what happens with that. CNCE was one of the biggest gainers from yesterday. That was on our list. The stock got to a high of almost $18, and it was kind of scary because there was no strong pullback after the first 30 minutes. So, by 10 o'clock, you were actually higher. By 10 o'clock, you were actually higher. And if you had got in after the strong pullback towards, that first high that was set, you actually ended up losing money toward the end of the day. So CNCE, are we going to be looking at a possible, sell-off tomorrow after this stock had done an incredible gain of almost $10 a share since the 5th? All right, based on that news that they had almost $160 million hit to their bottom line after that deal with another company. So CNCE could be a shorter's dream tomorrow going toward the end of the day. But be careful not to get caught off guard in that one. All right? Because that could be a setup. Bad Scientists, yep. PRKR up 36% after hours. We'll see what happens. 347, you're on the air. What's up?
On our list.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, what's up? Who am I speaking with?
Speaking with Devon, man.
All right, Devon, what we got for us, man?
I was looking at PRKR.
Yes, PRKR is definitely the stock. So many people in the chat room, and I see you're talking about as well. I mean, what are your hopes for that, man? Where are you trying to get in, or are you already in the stock?
No, I'm not in it as yet, but I'm looking for maybe any pullback at all to take a small position and see what happens.
Okay. Now, the company is set to be releasing earnings tomorrow after hours. Do you happen to have any knowledge, of at least if the company is expected to do well? I mean, is it a company you've been following, or it just kind of came up on your radar today?
I think I have some news also. They are expanding their lawsuit against Apple,
Okay.
I believe. I think that might play into some movements.
Okay. All right. All right. Let me see here. PRKR. Yeah, and based on some of the news that I'm seeing here that they put out earlier, mid last month, the company is described as a semiconductor semiconductor manufacturer with solutions for wireless applications. So very interesting business. We've known that many of the bigger companies in the space have done very, very well this year in their stocks. So we'll see whether or not PRKR has been a beneficiary of possibly some good business deals over the year. So thank you so much for the call, man.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, yeah. So we'll see. PRKR, it's a very interesting business. Very interesting business, very lucrative business right now. So they could, deliver a surprise tomorrow. So yeah, I think you guys should definitely take a look at this. Playing into earnings is always scary. Playing into earnings is always very, very scary. So definitely, don't risk more than you can afford to lose. But yes, sir, Darth Vader as well as Bad Science is very, very exciting news in PRKR. All right. BIOC up 19% after hours on 400,000 volume. BIOC, Zach Furman, BIOC is up after hours according to him. BIOC is up after hours. In fact, let me check that real quick. Why are we up that aggressively after hours? That's interesting. Let me see here. We up that aggressively in that stock? He's absolutely right. He is absolutely right. We're at 268 now. Here on the level 2 on BIOC. I do see here an order that came through at 268 at 1,000 shares, maybe even more. Earnings got that one rolling. What's going on, Prolix? Let me see here. In fact, every time I see Prolix, I want to pull up NAK. The stock has still been suffering, under that situation that it encountered last week with those shorters. We already know what needs to turn around in that. All right. Incredible win. LGBI. Cannabis Mobile up 20%. OTC play. Let me see what else. I want to find. I was really impressed with PRKR, man, and that close. That very, very strong close. Very late in the day for a stock to all of a sudden just pop like that. NMBL. Nimble Store. This was interesting. What did this do all of a sudden? You had that gap higher basically on a buy. KURA. And again, I'm just running some things here that many of you guys have brought up in the chat room. KURA. Now, this is a previous runner. KURA is a stock that's ran in the past. In fact, if you go back to when I started the show, KURA was one of the stocks we talked about a lot there. Treasure Hunter, call back, man. Talked about a lot at the beginning of the show. But here we have KURA, which shitted on itself yesterday. But all of a sudden found a lot of support at those lower levels today on KURA. Let's see if it can maintain that as well. So that's one stock that you got to have on your list as well. Cannabis Mobile. Yeah, I looked at that for a second. I was like, that was a joke. AUPH. Yeah, shout out again to Tristan, man. Shout out again to Tristan. You know, he brings it up all the time. QSIM down 17%. I think that's your entry. If anything, that could be your entry right there in QSIM. Those red days are green days to people who are looking to take an entry. A big red day should be your day to get in. You know, not all the time, obviously, not all the time. But in a good quality stock, I think many of you guys would agree with me on a good quality stock, a big red day is your day to get in. On a good quality stock. Might pull back to the sixes. There was one play, I hesitated on NVIDIA. I'm still, NVIDIA, I need like one more day of confirmation. Even though I'm pissed off because NVIDIA started off the day hot and then cooled. Started off the day hot, then cooled. Started heating up again and cooled right back. So that 99.38 or practically that 99.50, that's the wall in NVIDIA. So look for NVIDIA to try to hit that again. Again, that's for my option players. That's for my option players. Yeah, QSIM is definitely a runner. That's why you want to get in there at that steal. You want to get in there on the steal there, where the stock now down almost 20% on QSIM. It is a runner, but be very careful on that one. All right, it has ran, a lot lately. So it is an OTC play as well. Jeff, there, I'm right with you. I like NVIDIA. NVIDIA, I think if you're willing to go long, I think you'll be right long term. What the company does is amazing. They still have an amazing product. And I think the future is definitely on their side in NVIDIA. But for those of us looking for a short-term turnaround and taking advantage of the leverage that is available to us on the weeklies, you don't want to jump in too soon. 410, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, man? It's Tony Johnson. I'm not in the chat room right now. I called about a stock called Club, CLUB. I've been in it since it was $3.10.
All right, Club. All right, this is a sporting activities company. Now, what is this company about, man? Tell us a little bit about it.
They're the biggest wholly owned gyms. They got like 107 in New York. I think they got like 5 in Philly, about 10 or so in Boston, about another 5 to 10 around D.C. or whatever. And they just bought another one in New York.
Okay. Yeah, I see the company's been doing very, very well, man. I mean, an awesome February. They've actually had just, a great last 90 days. The stock is real hot. Very low flow, too. Look at that. Less than 12 million shares outstanding if Yahoo Finance is correct. Very low outstanding shares as well. So Club's been doing very well. I mean, how far do you think this can go, man?
I think it's going to start topping out maybe around a 550, around that, give or take. And I'm kind of like a fundamental. I'm mixing in the technicals by watching your show. So off the fundamentals, I think around like when it gets to 17 or 18 on a PE, that's probably around like 550. It might start topping out until probably earnings come in because they just bought the new club. Yeah. So they took over a gym that was popular. So the earnings go up from getting a new gym, it might start to go up more.
Yeah, I'm looking at the chart. I'm seeing when I go back to April of 2016, the stock had set a top there for the year, and you just broke through it based on yesterday's action. Actually, last week's action in the stock. So you're above the top. I do see here the stock had gotten to some bearish action back in 2015 where it topped off at about 625, 626 before falling. So you might have a ways to go, man. You still might have a ways to go here. But you just broke through a huge wall there in the stock back in March of 2016. So I think there's some momentum still possibly there. And, putting the bands on it, we are above the Bollinger Band. So, it says that we should be pulling back here slightly. But the momentum is still very well on your side, man. The momentum is still very well on your side. So, yeah, I think you're right. Maybe a pullback could be coming here. But I think overall, I think you could be looking to, touch that 6 something here very soon, especially if this good news kind of, continues to come out.
Yeah. All right, appreciate it. Nice show. Good information too.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for the call. So yeah, I mean, I like his play club. I kind of, it's one of those things I wish you saw it ahead of time. As you can see, it's not the fastest runner, but I mean, look from January. I mean, you're up almost $1.50 from January, $1.50 a share from January. All right, and I don't believe this is a pure fundamental play. Looking at the numbers, they're impressive, but not incredible. Again, this is relatively low float, low outstanding shares. And I have no doubt that probably has a lot to do with it. That has a lot to do with it. A lot of revenue, very little earnings in the company. Actually, a declining earnings if you look year on year. So not a pure fundamental play, a lot more of a technical situation in club. And going back again, if you go back to what happened in 2015, you can kind of see why, it's been bearish for some time. And 2016 looks like had been the turnaround to go long. Appreciate the stock on that one, man. Club, CLUB. CLUB. Drake, you got in coin? Yeah, I know when Bad Scientist called up, a lot of you guys got into coin. A lot of you guys got caught in the coin. And again, it's all sometimes when a guy calls the stock, unfortunately, it doesn't go, the way you want it to. So no one's to blame, but we'll see. We'll see. 772, you're on the air. What's up?
What's up, Sal? What's up?
Treasure Hunter, man. What you got for us?
Let me see. ETRM. Let me see. I don't know what happened, but like I said, I didn't like the way it was looking.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming, one day of running, they didn't make earnings or what, but as far as the nosedive, it's down. So when I go ahead and cash out, and I was looking at my, my charts, or how can I say, my tickers and stuff. And one caught my eye, APTO, dropped early in the morning like ETRM did, and I thought I was going to do a bounce back. All day long, it did a nice little wind up. So I'm going to hold on to him. I don't know, what he might do tomorrow.
Okay.
And a couple of more caught my eye. They was up after hours. I might hop into. I like GEVO, GEVO.
Yep, that's all. That's the renewable fuels play. We've had so much hope for that company. I mean, they did a reverse split. Reverse split and still got 8 alive. So I don't know what's left for GEVO. I don't think. What else can they do now? I mean, they're already incredibly low float as it is. Do they do another reverse now if they break this $1 mark? It's been a very strong support for the last several days. I had saw somebody bring it up in the chat room. I didn't even bother to pull it up, but this was about almost a week ago now. So we'll see, GEVO up 5% today, but I mean it's kind of just hanging over that $1 mark. I mean, you think that this could turn around here?
Bro, like I said, if it makes me a couple of games, I want to look, read the charts tomorrow to see what it might do.
Yeah.
And I got my eyes locked on IBIO.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
IDIO.
IBIO.
Oh, okay. There we go. IBIO.
Yes, sir.
All right. Oh, okay. All right. IBIO. Now this one's 16% gain. This was a stock like this would typically be at the top of the charts, but we had so many stocks do so well today on the Nasdaq.
I know, right? I could keep count of them all.
Right. I mean, again, when the overall market becomes bearish, these small pennies, man, they start to really run here on the Nasdaq. And sure enough, IBIO,
Right.
beneficiary of that today. Now, this is a company that's slowly been doing very, very well. I see multiple green days here, including last week.
I'm about to say I flip them here and now and then, you know.
Small gains. I mean, very, very small gains, penny or two, but for the most part, it's been doing pretty well. It really did today. Good 7 cents gain on the stock. Let me see if I spread the days out. Let's see what's on there. Okay, so the stock had been losing for some time. All right. It looks like it had just got to a low, so all right, not bad. RSI play looks like IBIO was.
Yep. And another one got my eyes going to lock into tomorrow is REXX.
REXX.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Direct Energy, something I think it was.
Yeah, REXX energy play, oil play. I was looking for seeing. I'm still watching oil and the price of oil, and what we could possibly be looking on that.
Well, you know what, the market is all jacked up the way it is. Some of the smart money going to run to maybe jewelry, these oil kind of joints, and what was the other one? Oh, some wheat plays too, you know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course, when the market gets bearish, you do see a run towards commodities. Right now, the futures. I'm looking at the futures overnight here, and yeah, we're set to open for another red day tomorrow if these future prices stay to where I believe they're going to be here as I continue to watch them here on investing.com.
Damn, are you for a third day? Holy shit.
Yeah, it looks like another red day possibly tomorrow. So we'll see what happens in it. But commodities right now, crude slightly down, but all right, not bad on REXX. These small drillers tend to be very, very sensitive to those prices, but REXX, nice 2% gain in the stock today.
Mm-hmm.
Bands are tightening, so we'll see what happens on that one.
Yeah, right. Those are my plays right there, bro. Like I said, I'm already locked in APTO, but those other three,
Yeah.
I might hop to all three, or maybe one or two to see what's up.
Yeah, well, definitely. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for the call, bro.
Anytime, cuz keep up the good work, Sal.
All right.
Love the show.
Thank you, man. So, I mean, look, solid play so far from the callers. Solid play so far from the callers. Again, I really want to thank the guy who called about ESES, man. I don't know who you are. I can't remember what your name is. So many people called the show. But, again, huge bomb to you, sir. Huge bomb to you, sir. AWGI. This is almost I see somebody in the chat room bring up AWGI. This is the stock that a guy called up, if you remember, about a week and a half ago. He said he had like $2,500 in AWGI and he was locked. He could not get out. One, I don't know why the hell you would put $2,500 and a triple O, OTC play to begin with. But I'm seeing this name come out a lot more these last couple of days. So I don't know where the hype is coming from, but don't get suckered in too much. Don't get suckered in calling too much. Yeah, Londell Carter was the guy calling from the gym. It was the guy. I thought it was Trading Jedi, but Trading Jedi brought up BONT. If you remember Trading Jedi, his play was BONT, which took a penny drop today. But it doesn't negate what he was talking about, though. If you remember on BONT, he was talking about how it's at that 09 low. So I still got BONT on my radar, and it should be on your radar too. All right, should be on your radar too, BONT for a run to 130, 135, possibly a turnaround situation here on the lower end of the band. All right. Let me see, XTNT is what we had just brought up. XTNT, this again, man, looks kind of hot. Looks very hot. See, stocks like this, I want to catch them before they do all this. Look at that. That's an incredible gain, man. You're up almost 100% in a week and a half. in XTNT. You know, we got to catch these before that happens. That's why we have the show. And many times we do pull up stocks very similar to this that, you know, have a candlestick that look like this, you know, gravestone doji possibly like this. You know, here was a spinning top, you know, very, you know, so solid bullish confirmation here on XTNT based on today's move up to 22 cents today alone for a 36% gain in the stock. Beautiful, beautiful play. You know, you had an incredible amount of volume today in the stock, almost 7.8 million shares. This is the stock hasn't seen that kind of value ever. Look at this. I'm pulling the chart back over almost 2 years now. And I don't see a volume bar anywhere near as high in XTNT. So incredible amount of volume coming into the stock today. I foresee this kind of continuing tomorrow, XTNT. We could possibly see this continue on tomorrow, XTNT. So put that on your list tomorrow for those of you guys who still got a day trade available. You know, it's so funny because I remember the guy called up the other day about using SureTrader, and I've always thought about just the idea of multiple brokers. You know, that using multiple brokers is probably the way to go. If you've got $5,000, putting 2,500 here or 2,500 there, or even if you got 1,000 there, 1,000 there, to kind of increase your you know, chances to play the market. Because in a market like this, you know, you might not be able to hang on to a stock for 2 or 3 days, but you can definitely enjoy, you know, a run here, a run there. When you have stocks like, you know, Pura today, for example, that run, and you got to get out toward the end of the day. You know? Appreciate it, man. FNCX. And by the way, thank you to the people who are enjoying the new, you know, prices over at Charles Schwab and Fidelity. They are now $4.95. I believe they started Mondays when the prices went active, and I'm loving it on Charles Schwab, $4.95 for all equity trades, including OTCs. FNCX, yeah, looks like things could be turning around there in FNCX. Look like things can be turning around there here. I'm zooming real close into this candlestick. And FNCX, not bad. All right. I'd like to see the stock. All right. Okay. So nice volume today too. 1.8 million on FNCX. You're at 91 cents a share. Let's see that. I'll put that on your list too. Look at see what possible news could be running that though. The bands are kind of wide, so we'll see whether or not we get some more confirmation on that tomorrow. But it looks like the bulls are starting to take some control there. Can you shorten Schwab? Yes, sir. If you got the $2,000 required for margin, yes, you can. Like any other broker, $2,000 allows you to short. Obviously, apply for margin. Ask for the highest level and access. I always ask for, you know, most brokers have level, you know, 1 to 4 or 1 to 3, and Schwab is 3. Always ask for 3. When they ask you what your experience is in stocks and options, always put experienced. How many shares, how many trades a year? Put like 500. All right. You may not be good at that now, but what you want to do is give yourself the opportunity where you can take advantage of, you know, those trading styles and abilities later on. That's not something you want to apply for later on because you don't know if the rules will change and what those rules will be. All right. MBRX 123 on MBRX. Okay, interesting because you got the gravestone doji and you were faked out here by a bullish candlestick here. Now sitting just above the 20-day moving average here on the daily chart in MBRX. Another day where you had incredible volume. So you had this bullish divergence here in these stocks where you have, you know, bearish momentum, all of a sudden huge volume. Again, this is could be possibly a news play. And just to pull that up real quick on MBRX, yes, it was. MBRX, no recent news. No recent news. All right. NAKD long term. Yeah, we had people bring up NAKD yesterday in the market, and sure enough, NAKD, as we told you yesterday, this was the Dwayne Wade underwear company. NAKD 253 a cent, 253 a share, up 40 cents for the day. NAKD doing some things, man. All right, as you can see, the stock ran very aggressively back in February, cooled off, and looks like all technicals responsible for that today. All right, what else we have here? AUPH, yeah, AUPH was the beast. Select start. I did see you bring that up. XTNT, still smoking after hours, Dame. Absolutely right, and that's why it's on our list for tomorrow's stock you need to be watched. XTNT, AUPH, HEAR. All of those you need to be looking at tomorrow. You definitely need to be paying attention to tomorrow. CNCE, one we brought up earlier. Those stocks have to be looked at possibly tomorrow. We already, incredible turnarounds. And going back to, let me see here. These were some plays from yesterday. PST. Let me see here on PSTI. $1.74 on PSTI. All right, so nothing incredible. Nothing incredible on that. See, that's the one thing about Nasdaq, man, is that I love the fact that many of you guys are more trusting of the Nasdaq plays than the OTC plays. And I understand that. I mean, if you get burned in something, why continue to play it? And so you love it when you get days like this. That's why I want you guys to take advantage of them when you do have them. Because right now, it's in your favor. It's in your favor. MEET, they brought out news yesterday. If you guys remember, we read that on the show where they had ended up buying a small other social media company. So MEET is also up. Nice gain today, almost 16% gain in that stock today. Very impressive on that one. Nice play in MEET. Nice 2-day play. I mean, you're up almost $1. Again, you got to a high of almost 625 in MEET from 470, or actually from 485 when you started off the week. So nice run there in MEET. Nice run. ICLD's on Bats Doji. Yeah, I actually just pulled up. It's so funny you brought that up. I did pull up Bats' Doji scanner. And you're absolutely right. Again, we shared the link to the Doji scanner for Bat Scientist in yesterday's show. And ICLD is number 1 on that list. You might want to lower the volume to just over 200,000 for the most part. I mean, some guys don't like to trade stocks with volume that low, but when you have stocks that have been bearish for a long time and could be turning around, you typically will see low volume like that. And ICLD is absolutely right, is the number 1 stock. And again, let me give you guys the link to that. It's absolutely free. And here's the link to that screener. You can go ahead and save it just like that and use it. And ICLD is the top stock on ICLD on that, on that scan. 3.5% right now gained in that stock, but we'll see. Yeah, you got to. Yep, if you sort by price, absolutely right, Big Zini. And that link, I have it sort by price. Said your teacher bought AUPH at 25 cents a share. All right. Well, I mean, where does he expect to go with it? I mean, he's up already huge. What level do triple zeros have to get in order to sell them and not be stuck? Well, I mean, as long as you got a buyer, you don't have to be stuck at any price. If you got a buyer, you can't get stuck in a stock. The only way you can get stuck in a stock if you don't have a buyer at your price. If the stock doesn't have any volume, no matter what price, you're not going to be able to get out. But if you got volume, there's no way you can get stuck. Waiting for a dip play in GIGL. I don't know if I'm still a believer in GIGL. If you guys remember, GIGL, we had the promoter call up and he said, hey, some news was going to be coming out. And then the news never came. So I'm not, I don't know anymore. What's the deal with that? He talked about news and this is what they're going to do and blah, blah, blah. And it never came. Now you're talking about the stock 4 days in a row red. And you possibly could get the stock even cheaper tomorrow, especially if there's no news tomorrow. You could be looking at a same drop in the stock tomorrow, maybe even more aggressively. So I don't know, man. He called up and said that was going to do something, but who knows? Oh my God! Not bringing up MKAU. MKAU, I didn't even want to bring it up until somebody brought it up, here in the chat room, because I don't want people to think that I'm, shitting on the stock and making fun of the people who bought MKAU. But if you guys remember, for those of you guys who've been watching the stock, we had guys calling in, every other call was MKAU. Looking back on it, I'm thinking those guys were working together or some shit, because now the stock is down, those guys are nowhere to be found. Those guys are nowhere to be found, bro. And that's one thing I have to remind you guys, because this is a call-in show that has to do with OTCs and small cap stocks that trade even on the Nasdaq. We are susceptible to, guys being hired by promoters to call in and hype stocks. So be very, very well, be very, very aware of that. Do your own due diligence. That's why I always start off my show with that, man. Nope. Well, I don't think PR can save that now. When we talk about MKAU, I don't even think PR can save the company with the fact that, the product is still not online. In fact, I don't even believe that they actually have the product. I believe they slapped that website on. There are a couple links that, to some rolling video, but I don't even think they have the software, honestly, looking back on it. And it's not a proprietary software. It's some white label software they supposedly bought from another company. Trading Jedi. Here's the thing, Trading Jedi. When you make a call and it doesn't go your way, it went down today, but sure enough, it eventually will pick itself back up. And Seadrill now is actually an RSI play. So Seadrill, you're down almost 60 cents. Almost 60 cents in a week in Seadrill. So you might be too far down in Seadrill. So I wouldn't take that call back so quickly. on Seadrill just yet, because I think that's a stock that could run soon, especially if we start tapping on $1 here. We'll probably see the company either release news or some shorts get squeezed here. And where is RSI at 23 right now on Seadrill? So yeah, man, it's an RSI play now on Seadrill. So if anything, I mean, let's just look for a turnaround possibly that could come out of nowhere in Seadrill. He's going to ask me, when is the time to buy dries? You asking me? I want to know. Everybody wants to know when's the turnaround to buy dries. You let me know when we should be buying dries. Because we know that dries, that's the money play if you get it right. That's the money play if you get it right. So you're holding dries. It might be bottoming out about 125. Okay. We'll be watching. We'll be watching. Yeah, I mean, dries is one of those stocks that can make or break your account if you don't know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing. Or if you don't know what you're doing. And everybody in the chat room, press like. I appreciate if you press like on this video. Right now, press like. Somebody brought up GSS. Up 74 cents. GSS is a nice little penny play I like to play because it's a resource-based play. As you can see, the stock has dipped below the 200-day moving average here. That pink line. The blue line is the 20-day moving average. I actually have a lot more lines on my TradingView platform. I'm using free stock charts right now just for the show. But as you can see here, GSS has dipped below the 200-day moving average on the daily chart. So huge selling right now in GSS. But if the market does start to get bearish, we know these junior mining gold plays. This is a New York Stock Exchange traded company, by the way. They do very, very well as people move to commodities in times of some fear. Right now, RSI is just under 35 on GSS. They got upgraded to sector perform. Okay, almost 6 months ago now, so it's been a while since any real news and any updates. I see here yesterday they put out some news about their Wassa underground gold mine. The stock was down on that report. So GSS, very, very bearish momentum, but I'd love to be on that turnaround though. You got about 30, almost 25 to 30 cents from $1 there. Actually, almost 30 cents. So that's disappeared off the stock in about a week and a half. The stock sitting, at 74 cents a share. I'd love to be back, on that turnaround once GSS figures it out. He said dries is a coin flip. Yeah. Lazaro says he got fucked on dries. Yeah, I love it. I can't get enough of dries, man. I can't get enough of it. And when it starts running again, 70% of you guys in the chat room are going to jump on it. Especially if it starts running here at the ones. ROX. ROX is killing you, Denzel Bird. All right, so you're down from, the 150s? Man, you better be out of there based on what's going on here on ROX. You were way out of the bands here on the 28th. Let me just go back to the 10-minute chart because I kind of want to see what happened here. All right, so based on the 28th, I see here you're way out of the bands. Huge gap up in the morning. Those are very scary to play, gap ups. That's why we always talk about waiting at 30 minutes. Waiting at 30 minutes. And the stock really hasn't even recovered since then. And that's probably based on the fact that if you go back in the chart, you see they don't really even have support for those prices. And the stock was very bearish going back to as far back as July of 2015. So, again, when you don't look in hindsight and you're like, okay, wow, this stock has jumped, almost, what was that starting point from 75 to $1.50, almost 50 cents, more than that, actually. My math is off, but, come on. There's no justifiable reason for the stock to stay up there. Always gotta look at the past when the stock is running that hard. All right, look at the past. You had a lot of people who got it for a lot cheaper who are cashing out on all that new volume. You said they had some news with Walmart? Okay. Yeah, that would move the stock. That would definitely move the stock. All right, UHLN. UHLN still very beat up. OTC play. Here's the 200-day moving average. So, this has been down in the dumps for some time. All right, this has been down in the dumps for some time. As you can see here, if we zoom out, we're getting closer. It's coming down, but it's coming down. UHLN. Don't have much to say about it. I mean, it is what it is. NOK Prolix. NOK here on the daily chart. All right, looks like February has been very, very good to NOK, man. February has been very, very good to NOK. You got the doji today in NOK, so hopefully that gets scratched out tomorrow with some gains here. But yeah, the stock has done very, very well for the month of February. And you're up almost, for the month of February, you're up almost 60 cents since the 31st of January. So some profit taking is definitely incoming there. SunQ. The Qs, we don't like talking about the Qs here. We don't really like talking about the Qs here, but Bill Betts, I know you had tweeted that to me earlier today, and I took a look at it, and I'm just like, nah, not a Q again. Not a Q again. We don't really, we hate the Qs here, but the stock had a really good morning and, of course, started shitting on people, very soon after. Very soon after. That's why I always talk about that whole first 30 minutes thing. Sure enough, at 10 o'clock, the stock started shitting on itself, selling off, got very aggressive. Then the stock went under the 20-day moving average, then used it as support, and then you had that pop toward the end of the day in SunQ, which probably wouldn't be followed up with tomorrow. Wasn't sure what the news was on that, but you guys know we're not fans of the Qs here. Too many people been burned. Nah. All right. NOK signed a 5-year deal. Going back to that chart real quick. Nokia. I remember when Nokia was a great company, man. I remember when Nokia was like a great company. I mean, they got talked about with the best of them. If you go back to, here's Nokia right here at almost $40 a share back in 07, 08. And then Nokia now look at 5 something a share. What a joke, but hey, a penny is a penny. But Nokia, I remember when Nokia was like the shit. All right, here's the 1-minute chart, very tight here. Daily chart. All right, so it's been a turnaround there since that 406 situation back in November. But NOK still alive and kicking. Still alive and kicking. And didn't Nokia release a phone? I think they redid one of their old classic phones or something like that, right? Prolix? Which is sad because, it still has that horrible touchscreen. I mean, not touchscreen, that horrible button way to, to text where you're going to have to scroll through all the letters and shit. Yeah. You had the 3310. The 3310. That's exactly right. The candy bar bone. I mean, yeah, it's supposed to be the backup phone. It's going to be the hood trap phone. That's what it's going to be. This is the hood trap phone. You'll see them in ghettos all around America. They'll be used to do drug deals and drive-bys and shit like that. Let's just be honest. All right? Because it's going to be priced what they said at $35. It's going to be priced at about $35. And obviously it will be GSM, being that the global standard is GSM. So you'll see those phones all over the world, but at your local neighborhood trap house very soon. BLPH. Okay, nice run to $1.87. All right, just above the 200-day moving average. BLPH, nice 4 days, consistent 4-day gains in the stock here since the second. And that stock, but again, the runners of the future are based on bad scientists. That FinViz link we gave, and again, obviously, news can put a stock on our radar. All right. Yeah, BLPH was good for you. All right, that's what's up. BLPH, nice move, man. As you can see here, mid-month of February, 1st of March has been really good for the stock. So far, man, a lot of good stocks to take a look at. Obviously, I also want to take a look at one thing we have to start doing too is start paying attention to these stocks that are, heavily sold off today as well. I noticed nobody in the chat room is bringing up RNVA. Although we had some RNVA fanboys in the chat room yesterday, and all of a sudden, I don't know why when the stock goes down, nobody wants to talk about the stock. But we had some RNVA fanboys call up the show yesterday, and now you guys aren't bringing it up. The stock is down 18% today on RNVA from the 360s. Tough day for RNVA. But this could be an opportunity for those individuals who are looking to get in at a discount. RNVA down 20%. Take a look at it. What else? AVGR down 20% today. Huge 2 bearish days in AVGR. All right, very aggressive selling in this stock. Very aggressive selling in AVGR. You actually, are we at the 52-week high? We're right at support there from the 23rd. All right, so you're sitting right at a very interesting support level going back to January 24th in AVGR. All right. I mean, these are opportunities. These are opportunities for somebody to get in. Obviously, you want to make sure the news is favorable. All right. So either it's a technical situation or, let me see here, CVRS. This was another one that we had on our list. I'm seeing this one that was on our list on Thursday. CVRS selling off here. It had been running very aggressively for some time. So CVRS looking to crack below $1, possibly tomorrow. All right. CVRS. What are there some good other penny plays that are got some good volume here? PERI. Here's PERI. Doji indicator. Doesn't no confirmation on the first one, so the bulls are still fighting, but they are losing the battle here. And PERI, in fact, if you pull the chart out a little bit, you see the stock probably has a ways to go. You're just below some support there, which is the 150s. Probably can go even lower than that possibly a lot of, as you can see, a lot more support there in the low ones. Ooh, PERE could be giving back some even lower. PERE at $1.69 right now. We talked about Seadrill, SDRL. Seadrill, as we talked about, well below the 30s on the RSI. So SDRL, and SDRL is a runner too. Very low float and is a runner. Low float and is a runner. Also located on lowfloat.com. DCTH, 7% sold off today. DCTH has been a runner in the past, but lately has been kind of quiet, so this one might have earned it. Down 7% in that stock. All right, let me see some other possible ones. Tops has been a runner. Tops is not dries, but Tops has done his thing. Tops is not dries, but Tops has done its thing in the past. So here we have Tops well below support, and Tops, as you can see here, breaking a major support level here at the 2s over the last couple of days in Tops. So a possible turnaround could be coming in Tops here. Again, above its brethren, Dries was zoned in the lower ones, but Tops just above it there at 167. Yeah, I would take a look at Tops tomorrow. Just see what happens, man. I mean, you got a lot of selling in Dries, a lot of selling in Tops. Not saying tomorrow's going to be the day. Never saying that. Again, if I could predict the future, I wouldn't have a YouTube show. All right. Let me see here. What else was really sold off today that you guys, we've talked about here as well? DPRX. DPRX is another one. DPRX had that huge day yesterday. You had some profit taken today, just 3% of that. Just 3% of that. Let me see some other thing that we may have talked about. I'm looking for a solid. You see here, IG, nah, I think still hanging in the air there. Don't like that one. Don't like that one. ZSAN. That one too is kind of hanging in the air there too. Not a fan of those. Don't like these kind of setups here where, we're close to the top where the stock had ran, still well above a strong support level. I like it for the stock to either have been, hinting at a possible retest at the high, or is at that support. So right now, ZSAN, a stock we have brought up, looking to, you thought it was possibly going to retest the high. Should have done it here. But we did get confirmation. 601, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, Si? This is John from Florida.
Hey, what's up, John?
Hey, yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and own up. I was one of the fanboys in the, I actually called up about TXTM. It had a huge pullback today. The other day it was up to like 20. That was 0.21, then it dropped so all the way off down to 0.14. And the thing, this stock is just really funny because, I guess this is how majority of penny stocks works. But this stock had news that came out today. I remember the last time I called in, I had mentioned how they were having meetings about the clinical trial that was going to take place over in Meritus.
Mm-hmm.
And they released an update today to the stockholders that the meeting was positive, and yet the stock still sold off, which I don't understand. And, I've actually called that particular company, Protex Mobility, TXTM,
mm-hmm.
and I talked to a representative twice. I talked to her in the past, and I also called today and talked to a representative. Her name was Hannah Merrill. and she told me that, positive things were coming, toward this particular stock, and all the information that they had put out on Instagram, on Twitter, on their website, all of it was true. But she did mention that things were going to start to take off next month in April. And, I just can't understand why the stock, is selling off when, they're constantly releasing news. I don't think it's a fake company because, they got the website. I've called twice and actually talked to somebody. So, I mean, if this is all a big scam and it's all fake, I mean, they're doing a really good job at it. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
So, I really can't understand why it would sell off like that. But I'm pretty sure it's going to recover. I'm pretty sure it's going to have a pullback because they're constantly releasing news, and this particular stock does seem to be sensitive to the news that it releases. So I'm thinking here in the next few weeks, and even in next month, I'm sure it'll recover.
So are you saying you plan on holding the stock maybe for another 30 days for a possible turnaround in the stock?
I mean, well, the only reason I'm saying that I don't do that is because, like I said, I have specifically called and I've talked to somebody twice. So unless I'm just being duped, unless they're just absolutely lying to me, I mean, how often in penny stocks do they post a number and have somebody pick up and fake it? I mean, does that happen in penny stocks?
Right.
I'm asking, does that happen in penny stocks where they'll post a number to this particular company and then they'll have somebody pick up and fake everything? Does that happen in penny stocks?
Well, no, not necessarily, but I mean that really, again, John, doesn't really have anything to do with the price. I mean, but that could, it just shows that they're an actual business and somebody picks up the phone. But we'll see what that does, man. I think I don't know, but a 33% gain, man, that's a very strong indication of some strong selling in the stock. So we'll see. We'll see.
Mean, and it's been doing. I mean, it's done this before, and then it'll recover. It'll drop all the way down to even 13, and it'll go all the way back up to 23, just based off of some news. So yeah, I hope it'll pull back. And one other thing, the stock TXHD. I don't know if you guys talked about it. I'm a little late to the show. Did you guys talk about TXHD?
Oh yeah, we talked a little bit about it, but bullish confirmation on the stock today in TXHD. Up 120%, based on that. Again, that had a big run yesterday in the stock. So, obviously, huge run for the people who decided to hold overnight in that one.
Yeah, and I just want to run this by you, and I'll let you go because I know you don't like people taking too much time. I was in that stock because it was running up. I waited till after the 30 minutes, like you all suggest. Don't touch it for the first 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. And I waited till the first 30 minutes, and then it got all the way up to, I think, 75 is where I got in. And then once I got in at 75, it continued to go up. Like, I mean, it got as high as like 93, 94. And I was happy about it. I was watching the chart, and I was watching level 2. Mm-hmm. And then I saw 3 candles come up. And I got out of it. Now, my question is, I'm still having a problem with when to get in and when to get out. Was I right to get out of that stock when I saw those 3 candles? Those 3 red candles, I mean.
Well, I mean, you based on what the chart was, I'm not sure what the price that you actually got out at, but I mean, looking here on the chart,
it was at 93, then it drew all the way back down. It just jumped down to 75, and I saw those 3 candles. I said, I'm out of here.
Well, so you sold at 93 then?
No, I sold at I got in at 75, and then I sold at 81.
Okay, all right, like nice little return for yourself. I mean, again, I don't know what those candlesticks were, but if they were, confirmation of some bullish momentum starting to develop in the stock, then yeah, I mean, you did what you were supposed to do. You got in, and you got yourself some gains and got out based on a technical signal that the price was going in the wrong direction. So, I mean, I think the profit is your answer to that question, and I think you did a good job, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for taking my call.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot, John. Yeah, so I mean, your profit is always the answer to, did I do a good job? I mean, if you didn't do a good job, you didn't make no money or you lost money. And that's the opportunity to kind of go back and say, okay, what did I do wrong? That's where you talk about making sure you write down really good records. That's one thing that Tim Sykes likes to talk about. And it's also in the book, Come Into My Trading Room. Or is it Come Into My Trading Room or Welcome to My Trading? I think it's Come Into My Trading Room by Alexander. I forgot his last name. Or Alexander Elder. Walk into my trading room or come into my. But anyway, in the book, he talks about how it's so important, and Tim Sykes talks about this too as well. So important to maintain good records, and not just about your entries and exits, right? Because so many people depend on the broker to do that, and they don't even review them for the most part. You'll be surprised how many people don't even bother to review when they went in and when they went out and why. But to actually write that down, if you wrote down why you wanted to get into stock at that price, why you decided to get out the stock at that price, and then if it goes right or wrong, you have something to go back and read and say, oh, okay, maybe this is the kind of conditions that I have to see, over and over again for me to be successful, So you want to be able to write that down. I don't know if I've shared that with you guys, but I think Tim talks about that a lot in his videos that we've shared. And again, for those of you guys who don't know, we have all the Tim Sykes early videos anyway to share with you guys. But in all the early DVDs, he talks about maintaining good records. But if you haven't heard Tim say it, I know Alexander Elder preaches it in his book, Come Into My Trading Room. All right. Of course, Tada. Of course, man. Must always do that. Come Into My Trading Room is the book. Yeah. Come Into My Trading Room is the book. Thank you, Max Volume. And yeah, Max Volume, I got your email too. Volume is dried up in MOSY. Although volume is drying up, and yeah, I do see a decline here in volume in MOSY. So we do have some selling, and that's a stock that, again, that saw huge moves today earlier, and toward the end of the day it did dry up. But overall, though, the stock has ran, did very well. I mean, it's had a really good February and as well late January. But you can't deny that MOSY didn't have a really good February. Started off March with a little bit of a bang too the other day too. Today MOSY, but sold off. You got some sellers now trapped in that. All right. VRX. So we're gonna wrap up the show here. Damn, VRX. What's going on with VRX, man? A lot of bearish energy. What's going on with that here? Let's go. Okay, so yeah, looking at the stock, we're well below the 200-day moving average. I see a gap down back here in March. So VRX, a higher tier play, Nasdaq play that has been very, very ugly for a very long time. And okay, this is Valiant. Okay, why I should have seen that shit. This is Valiant. If you guys remember, they were involved in a huge scam earlier last year that supposedly they were price fixing of some sort with pharmaceutical companies. So Valiant has been going through a lot of legal issues. They've got a lot of legal issues they're dealing with right now. I wouldn't touch this just yet, though. I wouldn't touch this just yet. Low on the RSI. But they've got a lot of shit that's going on with them right now. All right. But they do have some very valuable properties. Boston Lomb. They do have some very valuable properties that they can turn into cash. So it is one you should watch. It definitely is one that you should watch because they've got a lot of assets, valuable assets that they can turn into some real cold cash if they really need to. Ton of articles out there on this company. Ton of articles here. I'm looking at FinViz, and there are a ton of articles you can bring up about VRX and the assets they have on their books that can easily change the situation around there. All right. But I guess they're just not at that point. Because as you can see here, well below the 200-day moving average, which is at $20 right now. The stock is at 11. All right, VRX. CYCC. All right, so that's one of those places. Hold on here. CYCC. Let's see here. CYCC. I can't pronounce the name of that company at all. But as I can see here, they have been doing, all right, since last week. Oh, what a chart, man. Since last week, from the 320s, you're at 395 in CYCC. Huge move today, almost 33 cents in the stock today alone. Here's the 5-minute. This is the 5-minute chart, so it's kind of scary too, man. It's got some scary hills and valleys here. That to scare the shit out of some people. So CYCC, dangerous looking stock, man. Obviously, you know, the trend has been very favorable these last couple of days. Almost like it's forming a little bit of a cup. But scary looking stock for the last 2.5 weeks, man. Very scary looking stock. But I think if you're willing to be patient, again, find out why it dropped off the cliff over here back on the 23rd. I have no idea what that was about. But as you can see here, turnaround confirmed back on the 3rd. And if you're willing to hold, looks like you did really well on CYCC. Looks like you did really well on that. All right. CDIF, 38 cents for share. All right. Decent volume today, almost 351,000 shares. That's been the high for the last 7 days in the stock. Hasn't seen that kind of volume recently, but up 18%. CDIF. Oh, on VRX, of course. I mean, VRX, you said the pipeline is promising on VRX. Yeah, heck yeah. Look, VRX has got, billions of dollars in assets. And sure, I mean, Warren Buffett talks about when everybody is in fear, that's when that's the time to buy. Can you imagine being that guy who loaded up, during the recession when every other article, every news is about how everybody's losing their job and the stock market is going to hell? You're a very rich man if you loaded up in 2009. You're a very, very, very rich man. There's a very awesome interview with that guy from Goldman Sachs, and he's talking about how he dreams to wake up one day and the market, crashes. And, he lives to see a day like that because he understands the long view of money, not only the being able that he can short it going all the way down, but the idea that he'd be able to buy everything in sight while everyone is scrambling, thinking that the world is over. All right. And I think the video on YouTube is called Goldman Sachs Banker Tells the Truth About the End of the World or some shit like that. Really, really great video. And these people are looking at him like, oh my God, did he just say that? Did he really just say he wants, the market to crash? Don't say that. Let's see if I can find it real quick and share it in the chat room. Goldman Sachs. Let me see, banker. There it is. Goldman Sachs rules the world. I think this is the video right here. Let me share that with you guys. There it is. Booyah. That's the link to it. Let me see. Can I?
It's going to crash and it's going to fall pretty hard because markets are ruled right now by fear. investors and the big money, the smart money. I'm talking about the big funds, the hedge funds, the institutions. They don't buy.
Yeah, it doesn't look as good. I'll probably bring it for Friday. I'll bring it on Friday, but you guys know what? Some of you guys may have already seen that video. Yeah, very good video. Very good video. And these guys want the end of the world, man. They want the end of the world to come. Because they know the end of the world is a huge opportunity. Well, not the end of the world per se, you know, but they want the market to crash because a huge correction is a huge opportunity. A huge correction is a huge opportunity. But a big correction is the end of the world to the mainstream investor. Sell it all. Get me out. Get me out of there. The market is down, man. Don't buy any stocks. You at 211. I'm hoping that, you know, we're getting into a bearish time now. As I started off the show, you know, as we said that this is the first day in quite a while where the SPX, the market has been down 2 days in a row at these levels. I retweeted that, in fact, a really good, analyst that I follow, he made a really good quote. First back-to-back loss for the SPX in 25 days. The previous 3 times it got to 25. The streak also ended also. So this is the third time it's gotten to 25 days, 2 days in a row, 25 days, 2 days in a row. So a little bit of a cool off here. Definitely not the beginning of the end. So more, bullish action is to come, unfortunately, because some of these prices are starting to get really crazy, but it is what it is. Keep playing, keep winning. The tax plan should, but here's the thing, when we talk about the Trump tax plan, it's getting to a point where certain people are saying that now, if Trump were to release the tax plan, some of these stocks are so high that the value is already in the stock. The value is already in. If they were to release the tax plan tomorrow, then you possibly couldn't go higher in some of these. That the value is already there. Right? So we'll see. We'll see. They keep talking about the tax plan, but now, they were talking about the tax plan, but now it's all about Obamacare. It's all about Obamacare. So I don't know where the conversation is going. That's the really irritating thing about the White House right now. But, look, they got multiple departments. A lot of things are going on. You just, at the end of the day, I want the best to be, for America to be done. But, so much bullshit. But we'll go into that on Friday. We'll go into all that on Friday. Trust me. All right, this Friday we going in. We going in because we've had a lot of bullshit things happen this past 2 weeks. A lot of bullshit things. So we going in on Friday, man. 250-211. As I talked about earlier, 12% gain in the stock, 23 cents gain on the stock today on UUU. And I like the fact that it's, as you can see here on UUU, it's bounced here on the bands, and it uses like the lower bands as support. And now UUU did exactly that these last 2 days, where the stock got to the lower band and bounced right off of it. So UUU, are we talking about possibly, as bad scientists would probably say, looking to the stock to hit that 260 level where that top band could be? As you can see, it did very well here. Actually broke through that. So UUU, interesting play there, just $2 a share on 211. Look for, because I do like that Marabusu indicator here. It's got a little bit of a candle on top of there, but confirmation on that. WCST. The WeCast network is a cable system operator, down 11%. Yeah, don't know much about this one, man. Don't know much about this one. The WeCast network, don't know much about this one. I see here you had tried to break the top, that 243, and hit the wall there. So now you've got an even lower high in 2017. Will it retest the twos now? You'd have to see tomorrow. You'd have to see tomorrow. That was a good entry. A perfect entry would have been right here. Look at that beautiful doji confirmation with the spinning top. All right, that would have been a beautiful entry right there from, what was that at? 148? Oh, man, that would have been a really nice entry back in February 16th. So, yeah, 2.5 weeks,
A great part of using
3 weeks later, you would have had a really nice return on yourself. Almost, wow, well, almost 50 cents a gain there. Good stuff. You said Shane McMahon owns it? Shout out to Shane McMahon. Used to love watching that guy in the WWE, getting his ass beat up. Yeah, Craig G. That video was deep. That video is deep. Yeah, we talked about IRG. But again, man, very impressive stocks these last 2 days. Very, very impressive stocks these last 2 days. The stocks we just talked about that were down and out, I'm not saying that they're down and out forever. We've already talked about RNVA and how incredibly low float that is. So that could be turning around very shortly. RNVA down almost 20% today. That could be very well turning around very shortly. So I'll definitely be putting that on my watch list tomorrow. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. And thank you guys again. It's been a great show. Go ahead and click like right now. If you aren't a subscriber, you should be subscribed. Go ahead and click subscribe if you're not. A lot of good plays today. A lot of good plays. Nasdaq is running the show right now. If you're looking for, some really solid gains, it's been Nasdaq to start off the week. It's been Nasdaq, man. If you're having the trouble with day trades, using a multiple broker is the way to go. Splitting your money up. We talked about TXHD. It's been solid OTC play, man. But I think you got to be careful now. You got to be careful now with TXHD, because you got some people who are stuck up there at the penny who are going to be looking to, get out now if you have any indication of any kind of bearish, momentum tomorrow. They're going to be running for the door. All right, because they're hoping now. You got to see people at a penny in TXHD who are hoping that there are going to be more buyers to come in. Right? They're going to be hoping that there are more buyers to come in the morning to sell. So we'll see. Declining volume in TXHD toward the end of the day. If you go, down to 3:30, 4 o'clock, it was pretty much a wrap in the stock. SunQ owns huge amount of Terraform. SunQ could be run. It could run. SunQ could very well run. Not a fan of it, but it very well could run. CIG up 6%. Multiple day gains tend to start with gains under 5% or so. That 2 or 3% day tends to be the day that starts it into the multiples, the double digits. And CIG, I actually like the way this chart is setting up too. Pulled back to the 322. All right, here's that doji pattern confirmed here. Beautiful play in CIG again. This is one that, a while ago. And where's that top there? So 374 is your breakout. Let me go a little bit. Actually, I think it's 377. 377 is your breakout in CIG. 377. Right? I think I'm right on that, right? 377 is your breakout in CIG. Check and make sure what the 52-week high is on that one. But CIG, I like the setup though. Bovash, I do like that setup. CBIO. CBIO looks like that was an RSI play. Very bearish stock. Here's the 200 moving average here, well below it. Looks like, yeah, that was all RSI on that one. Got very, very low at 678. I don't know. I think you might have missed the move there on CBIO. We'll see what happens tomorrow on the stock, but I think the move was to get in yesterday in CBIO. If you again play the low RSI thing, you know, you gotta Google that. Guys who play the low RSIs, the sub 30, sub 40 RSI situation where they're looking for a stock that has been bearish for some time but is showing a particular candlestick that could mean an immediate turnaround in the stock in a day or two. It's a strategy out there. There's a word for it. I know I don't have the proper word off the top of my dome, but yeah, look into that. Look into that. All right. Join us in the Discord room. I know we've got a lot of new people in the Discord room. And a lot of guys, you can chat in there as well. But it's also a place just to kind of leave comments, ideas, books. Guys who are, have interesting books. I saw Londale Carter, you shared Trading for a Living by Alexander Elder. That's a really good book too. Make sure you get the second copy of Trading for a Living. The first one is kind of outdated. So you want to get the second book, Trading for a Living, because I think the first Trading for a Living was at the beginning of like internet trading. So he talks about like, trading stocks for like $34.99 a trade and shit like that. So make sure you get the second Trading for a Living. That one I think came out either 2014 or 2015. Really good stuff. All right, Alexander Elder. All right, so let me share the link to the Discord room. Let me share that. There's the link right there to the Discord room. All right. Somebody tell me, do I think Plug can rebound? Depends on what the news is, man. Right now, well, I mean, you're actually not that bad in Plug. I'm thinking, I mean, Plug did its thing in February. You're actually finding some support here at the ones. Interestingly enough, PLUG's got some support here in the ones. All right. You got a green day today, just over 1%. 3.4 million shares. So Plug Power holding in there. How long, I don't know. Using that 20-day moving average as support. Really interesting to see there on Plug Power. Yeah. So again, shout out to the people in the chat room. Go ahead and press like on this video. Let me get out of here. I'm trying to keep the show under 2 hours, because, guys get like, oh my God, I can't watch it. Oh, it's too long. So we're going to try to keep it under 2 hours. And then Friday is always the show we go ham on. But Plug, going back to Plug real quick. I mean, you're at support, man. You're at support. All right. I would wait a little bit on that though, man. I would wait a little bit on that. If you're looking to get in, I'd wait a little bit on that because just get some. Let's see what happens on that. Said he'll be half asleep. He'll be Oregon. All right. Shout out to safe trip to Oregon. Safe trip to Oregon. MMEX. All right. MMEX. Okay. Hold on. What's going on here? Let me see here. MMEX. Is this a OTC? Yes, it is. OTC play. MMEX. Let me see here, because this could be one of those. Again, we started off the show talking about how so many guys now on the OTCs they're trying to scam people using these shell companies. MMEX. Okay, yeah, we looked at this earlier. The filings are actually up to date. They're just behind on like 1 or 2, but the 10Qs, as you can see, they've been updating. 2,700% today. I wouldn't jump on top of it. I don't know what's going on there, but 2,700% is a little crazy. They're about to build a new refinery. Okay. Victor Prazo, appreciate it, man. Joni, Zach Sweet, Bill Betts, $450 million refinery. Supposedly they're supposed to be building. Where are they getting the money from that? Let me look at the 10Q, man. All right. Okay, let me make sure I get this 10Q right, because you guys know last time on the 10Q I didn't get it right. Let me see here. Let me find this real quick. Hold on. Let me cool the picture a little bit on this one. Hold on. There we go. MMEX. Let me see. Let's go here. MMEX, because I want to take a look at real quick on the filings, because usually, very rarely. Let me see here. Let's look at this latest filing. All right, so you guys notice this is the filing for MMEX, supposedly $450 million refinery that they're going to be building. Let's go to the financials. All right, so this is not in the thousands, right? This is not in the thousands. Am I correct when I say this is not in the thousands? As it doesn't state here clearly. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Is that $3,000 cash? This is $3,000 cash, right? So this is not in the thousands, right? $62 in property equipment. $62. Are you sure it's in the thousands? Because I'm seeing these in the thousands. If that's in the thousands, you can't tell me they have 652 million. No, yeah, that's yeah. Yeah. So it's $3,000. So you're telling me a company with $3,000 in the bank. Many of you guys have trading accounts bigger than that. I know I do. Is going to build a $450 million refinery. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Get out of here, you damn nigga.
Come on, man. Ah, shit. They really, let me tell you something, folks. Here's the thing is that they really believe y'all believe this, though. They really, and here's the thing. People really do believe it. They really do believe it, man. I got to do it again, man.
Get out of here, you damn nigga. Get out of here, you damn nigga.
Come on. All right, man. Let me get up out of here again. Thank you to everybody in the chat room. Dominic, Victor, Bully Envious, Ebanar, Tia D, Drake, The Headache 24, Andy Mon, Zach Sweet, Mag 3690, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. All the calls. Thank you for all the calls. You guys know Wednesdays is my day off. Look, I love OTCs. I promote too. But, I mean, come on, man. Let's just, a little bit of research will save many of you so much money. So much money. All right. Money stay woke. Thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. Happy trading tomorrow. A lot of Nasdaq stocks are running. Take advantage of this. All right. You don't have to get the whole thing. Sometimes just 5% here, 10% here could make, the difference month after month after month, and can put you on a situation where you're looking at a trading account with, 5 figures, 6 figures, month after month after month, just little gains here, week after week. All right? Try to get 10% a week, 20% a week. 20% a week for most traders is pretty good. 20% a week. That's pretty doable. Great show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. I will be back here Thursday. Same time, same place, ladies and gentlemen. Penny Stock Live. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Take care.